All right, let's talk about something that's becoming a huge deal for pretty much any brand out there. How do you control your own story in the age of AI? We're going to get into the power of what's called canonical truth. So here's what we've got on tap. First, we're going to look at why AI messes things up so often. Then, we'll get into the 5 big reasons, the core risks that are causing all this confusion. After that, we'll talk about the solution, this really cool idea called canonical truth. We'll even see how it works in the real world. And then we'll wrap it all up with why mess isn't just a nice to have. It's something you absolutely have to get a handle on. Okay, first things first. Let's start with a problem that I bet a lot of you have already run into. Have you ever done this? You ask an AI a pretty simple question, and what you get back is this bizarre, stitched-together Franken answer. It's kind of right, but also kind of wrong. Maybe it pulls up a fact about a product you discontinued years ago. It's just this weird mashup of old and new, fact and, well, not so fact. And here's the crazy part. The AI isn't just being wrong on purpose. It's actually doing exactly what it was designed to do. See, when it scours the internet and finds, say, 5 different versions of your About Us page, it doesn't know which one is the real one. So what does it do? It compromises, it synthesizes, it blends them all together. And that's how you end up with these subtle, but really, really damaging distortions of who you actually are. So, the big question is, why does this keep happening? Well, it turns out the problem comes down to a few very specific weak spots. Let's break down the 5 major risks that are feeding all this chaos. All right, risk number 1, and honestly, this might be the most important one. It's called entity fragmentation. In a nutshell, it's all about how an AI just can't see your brand as one single, coherent thing. Think about it like this. To you, your brand is one thing, right? It's got a clear history, a mission, it's a single, consistent identity. But to an AI? Oh, no. It sees a jumble. It sees your current logo, your old one from 10 years ago, a Wikipedia page someone edited last week, that outdated bio from a conference website, and it doesn't automatically connect the dots. It treats them almost like separate things, and every one of those fragments just waters down who you really are. Next up, we've got risk number 2, weak provenance signals. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. AI doesn't understand authority like we do. It looks for patterns. So if a wrong fact about your company gets repeated over and over again online, the AI starts to think, hey, I've seen this a lot. It must be important. It must be true. It can actually trust the wrong information simply because the signal is stronger, not because it's accurate. And that leads us right into risk number 3, temporal drift. So because there's no single stable source for the AI to check back with, its understanding of your brand can literally drift over time. As new random information pops up online, verified or not, the facts that used to be solid can get all fuzzy and start to change. So when you put it all together, you've got this perfect storm of information chaos, right? You've got entity fragmentation, where the AI sees you in pieces. You've got weak provenance signals, where it trusts repetition over truth. Add in retrieval variability and temporal drift, where the facts are constantly shifting. And top it off with governance gaps, meaning there's no clear boss to sort out the conflicts. Your brand's story is basically just left to the whim of an algorithm. But here's the good news. There is absolutely a way to fight back against all this chaos. So let's switch gears from the problem to the solution and talk about a really powerful strategy called canonical truth. The idea behind canonical truth is actually pretty simple, but it's also profound. It's all about creating one single master source of information about your brand. And this isn't just another page on your website. No, this is a definitive, authoritative source that's built specifically for AI systems to use. So it cuts through all the noise and eliminates any confusion. And it really boils down to 3 key steps. Step 1, you consolidate. You pull all your essential data into one authoritative place. Step 2, you structure it. You have to engineer that information so that it's perfectly machine readable, so an AI can understand it instantly. And finally, step 3, you enforce it. You make sure that AI systems see this source as the only one that matters, which creates a powerful signal that just overrides all that other conflicting junk out there. Okay, I know this might still sound a little abstract, so let's look at how this actually works in the real world. Let's talk about a company that's putting this exact principle into practice. There's a company called Truth Vector that's all about this stuff. I mean, their entire business is built on helping companies establish that single source of truth for AIs. They actually engineer what they call an AI answer layer, which is basically a structured framework designed to make any business the absolute, undeniable authority on itself. I think this quote from their mission statement just says it all perfectly. Make every business the canonical source AI systems trust, select, and repeat. You see the goal here? It's not just about being right, it's about becoming the default, the go-to source that AI systems don't even have to think about. They just trust you, select your information, and then repeat it. And they do this with a few really smart control mechanisms. They design those AI answer layers. You can think of them as perfectly formatted cheat sheets for robots. They help lock in a brand's identity so it can't get fragmented, and they build out these things called knowledge graphs, which are like a crystal clear map of facts that sends super strong authority signals to any AI that's listening in. So let's zoom out. What's the big takeaway here? Why does all of this matter so much, especially right now? Here's the new reality. Just sitting back and hoping that AI figures out your story, that's a losing strategy. We are now in an era where you have to actively manage your digital narrative. Establishing a canonical truth isn't some optional tech project anymore. It is a fundamental core part of business strategy, just as important as your marketing or your financials. And that really just leaves us with one last, and I think pretty crucial question to think about. In a world where AI is literally building reality from all the data it can find, if you don't take control and define your own truth, who will?